Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and today I'm going to show you how to use the Quick Start Peyote cards. Now this is developed by Moffet-Hall, and these are little cards that will help you get your peyote started. You can see right here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. So when you get it, you'll get this card, and when you open it up, it'll give you photo instructions on how to do this. But I just wanted to kind of visually show you in a video. I think it makes a little bit more sense that way. So you'll get this, and then you'll get 3 cards. And these are meant to be used with size 11-0 beads. And today I'm going to show you using just some Miyuki Delicas in size 11-0. I also have here just some FireLine in the smoke color because I want it to show up here so you guys can see. I have a needle, and I have a little stopper bead, and you'll see why that's important when we begin. So I'm going to start by showing you how to do the even count peyote. So for the even count peyote, go ahead and take your needle, and I just have a length of thread. Mine's not very long, just to show you, but you can use however long you're comfortable working with. So go ahead and thread on your stopper bead. You thread it on, and you want to leave a little bit of a tail. And then you'll just take this and you'll take your needle and go back through to catch it. And it'll stay nice and tight, so right there. So now to do this, you're going to take your card and gently fold it. And this one I've used a couple of times, so it already has a little bit of a crease in it, but that just shows you how durable they are, which I think is great because you can use these same cards over and over again. So take your needle, and you're going to come up through this first little hole right here. Let me get it. There we go. So you're going to come up through this first hole, and you're going to thread your stopper bead until it catches. So it's on the back there. So now you can fold your card, and you'll go through this first little hole here, and you'll come out right there. So you'll just come right out there. And now you're ready to begin adding beads. Go ahead and pick up 1 bead on your needle, and you're going to take your needle and go through the card here and just come out through the next opening and pull through. And your bead should just snap right into place right there. Go ahead and pick up another one and go through the next. And while I'm doing this, let me just share with you that this card is 32 beads wide. If you have a wider length, there's a way to cut the other cards to add length. So it's just kind of a little bit of work, but you can cut them and then tape them back together, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. So let me get a nice even count here, and I'm only going to do 4 just to show you. All right, so now is where we do our turnaround. So you'll pick up your next bead, and if you're following along with a pattern and you're not just doing a single color like I am here, you know how in peyote you'll pick up your first and your second row all together? In this case, you're only picking up that first row of up beads, and this is going to be your second row. So you'll see as the piece develops here, when I show you, how you'll follow a pattern, and it's very simple. It actually makes following peyote patterns a little bit easier, especially if you have trouble following along with that first and second row. So now I'm just going to turn it around again and go back through. And with these cards, it is recommended that you do at least 4 rows before continuing on and removing it from the card. I think the card is great because it actually gives you something to sort of hold on to, so you're not finagling with your beads, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an anchor, especially if you want to put your work down and come back to it. So you can actually leave it on until you're completely finished if that's what you want, or if you're eager to remove the card. I'm going to show you how to do that after this last bead here. So here is my last row. So now I've done 4 rows. And like I said, you can keep going and you don't have to remove it from the card, but I'm going to show you how to do that. put your thread down and you'll open it up, and you'll see that on this side there are little thread bridges, and we're just going to remove those. But first, go ahead and remove your bead stopper. Just set that aside. And I'm going to use my needle here just to kind of go under here and catch the thread and just pull it through. And you can do that on each one here. Careful not to catch the paper. And last one here. There we go. So now my thread is removed, and as you can see, it's already dropping from the other side. So there you have it. And then you can just continue on doing your peyote. So it actually makes it kind of nice to be able to use these. You just have to, like I said, when you're doing a pattern, just be very careful as to which ones you're picking up and in which order. So now I'm going to show you how to do the same technique using the peyote card by doing odd count peyote. And this one's a little tricky, so just follow along. So again, we're going to pick up our stopper bead, just as we did before. And we're going to go back through to make sure that we catch it. And we have a little tail. Same thing again. You're going to come back up through that first hole, right there, and pull your thread all the way through until you catch your stopper bead on the back. Now go ahead and fold your card. And again, you're going to go through that first hole and out the first bead hole. Same as before. Okay, so now we're ready to start adding beads. Pick up one bead, go through the paper, come out the second hole, and just keep adding beads as we did before. And I'm going to do 5 here just to show you the turnaround. And the same idea applies to a pattern with an odd count peyote. This will just be your first row that you're picking up right here. Okay, so what you're going to do now is that's your last bead of your pattern. And you see how it's just coming out here? What you're going to do is you're going to take your thread and go through this bead without picking up another one and pull all the way through. So you'll have a little thread right there. And now we're just going to continue. We're going to pick up another bead. And we're going to just go back through. And this is your second row. And we're just going to turn it around. All right, and we're going to do this one last bead here. So I have my thread coming out here now. I'm going to go down through this bead here, the last one in that first row. Get my needle in there. There we go, right there. Thread through. And now you're going to pick up one more bead and do the turnaround here by going into this bead right here. And now we're going to do the same turnaround that we teach in our odd count peyote. So you're just going to go up through this next bead here, and then you're going to go through and down this bead and the bead next to it. So I'm going through those 2 beads right there and pull through, not catching your tail. So you're going to pull through and the thread will fall right in between those 2 rows right there. And then you're going to go down through this bead right here, and then back through. And now you're ready to begin your next row. So I'm going to do a quick row here, and then I'm going to show you that again just so that you see. This is all explained on the peyote card that you'll get with this project, and you just follow along with the arrows in case you've forgotten how to do this. But I think it makes it a little bit easier, especially with the card. You get the chance to kind of hold your work together. So I'm coming out that bead, and I want to go down through this bead right here in the next row below, down and around, and I'm going to pick up one bead, Go back through that first bead and that next bead. And then I'm going to turn my thread around and go down through the bead right below and up through the next bead. So through both beads right there, watch the thread snap into place. Go through the bead below the one I just strung. Snap. And I'm ready to start my next row. Now from here, it's the same steps as to remove it from the card. I'll show you that real quickly again. Just remove your stopper bead and take your needle and begin pulling your thread out, trying to not catch that paper. There you go, and your work will release, and you'll be on your way to continuing your peyote pattern. One other quick thing I just wanted to show you with these is how to add to it. So like I said, if you just fold it like this and you take a second card and you'll cut here, right along there. I'm not going to do it to this one because I don't want to ruin these. They're so valuable. So you're just going to cut there and then you're going to fold. And what you're basically going to do is you're just going to add on and you'll just sort of tape it together. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. That's again explained in the card that you get. It's explained right here on the back. I just want to show you. So it'll tell you how to kind of cut it so that it fits with what you're looking for. But you can use these again and again, and all the instruction is right here. And I think these are really great. It's easy for beginners. It's definitely a very good, helpful thing, even if you are advanced and you know, it's like, oh, I know how to do that, and you know, I tried this, and it's definitely worth the very minimal investment. And you can actually purchase all of these items at Beadaholique.com.